So thank you everyone for coming again. Today we have partners and friends from different countries. So ranging from America to Peru to Puerto Rico to, bear with me, to Mexico, Argentina, Ecuador, Guatemala, Spain, Poland, France, Ireland, Pakistan, even Malaysia, Netherlands, South Africa, and United Arab Emirates, UAE. So thank you very much for joining. I probably do have missed some of you, because a lot of people are encouraged to come and join even if they have not pre-registered, so that's fine. So I might have missed some of you, so I do apologize. I'm going to share my screen now to show you. If you have any questions, do unmute yourself to ask the questions. So you will see my screen now. If you couldn't see it, please let me know. So today we're talking about the COVID-19 live occupancy control system. Something about us, I think many of you have already worked with us for many years. For some new, many partners have also joined us new. So something about us. So we are a global leader in people counting system. We develop our people counter here in the UK. So we have we do continuously reinvest more than 24% of our revenue into research and development. So many of you who have been with us since quite an earlier on, you probably have seen all the added features that we have developed and launched throughout the years. So we are both a manufacturer for both hardware and software, where we are quite unique in that sense. So we're not only just developed our own hardware, we also developed the whole enterprise level software to complete the whole solution. So all the design and development are 100% in-house. So therefore we are able to very quickly adapt and add on new features, and also customize any reports and do integration for your client. We have an in-house R&D team, and so in all together we combine over 100 years of industry experience in developing the people counting solution. We do serve multiple sectors, including the current COVID-19. Also, it will be from retail to fast food, restaurants, museums, to smart buildings and airports. We're also doing a lot for the government department now. Now, prior to this COVID-19 scenario, our research team has we do already have demand for live occupancy. We already do live occupancy for crowd control, for like stadiums, places of worship, exhibition halls, where there are a big crowd, and a crowd control is already a requirement for these venues. So the topic of this webinar, we are looking at those businesses who are currently still running their business. So for example, supermarkets, that they are providing essential services to the public, and also other retailers, businesses, offices that are needing to reopen. So because the lockdown is going to be slowly lifted, but many governments across around the world have already announced that they will need to have some sort of social distancing regulation in place for the next 1 year. So we're going to talk about when the businesses are reopening, what they need to do, and how the FootfallCam Safe Occupancy will help in that sense. How does it work, and what are the key features and benefits? And also we're going to discuss later about the key market segments for you, who are your target audience, and the marketing and sales support that we will provide to you, and also these case studies. So we quickly saying, why do they need the safe occupancy when the business are going to reopen? They would have to have a set of preventive measures. So it is not a nice to have, it is a must have. They have to comply with government guidelines to provide the social distancing and occupancy restriction. So be it business, retails where they open to public, or the offices, any companies that they need to let people coming back to work in the office, they need to follow the guidelines. They need to protect the employees and also provide reassurance to visitors. Now then, being automated is the most cost effective than manual counting. We're going to discuss that a bit more. And there's also long-term benefits in this solution. For example, some supermarkets, they're already using store occupancy data on their website, so to enable the customers to pick a time to shop when it is quiet. So in that way, improving their shopping experience. So here, as we just discussed, now you probably already know, obviously, the governments have imposed the social distancing regulation. They need to find a way to limit the number of people coming into their premises. Now, many businesses have already resorted to assigning security guards. So many supermarkets have already started doing that. Now, but manual counting, they have already saying it's very costly. Is this inaccurate because there's no way to prove the accuracy, and at the end of the day it doesn't provide evidence for the businesses to show that they are compliant. But whereas FootfallCam Safe Occupancy, it will help to limit the maximum number of people in their premises, and it's automated, so it's cost effective so that you can reduce personnel deployment. It is accurate, it is scientifically driven, and also it has, we provide a proven accuracy. We have a verification report that you can show, and your client will be able to show that the system is accurate at what percentage. Now, I'm going to talk a bit more about this later. And then it is accountable because you will have a live dashboard for your store to be able to take action in a timely manner. You will also have management reports for the top management, for the directors, to look at which store that needs support from that, which store are more prone to being reaching the maximum, so then they can support those stores a bit more. So again, that is then making it very accountable, very transparent. So as compared to that, manual counting versus automated counting. So when you have a security guard at the door, you obviously will have some sort of counting in place manually, be it as simple as that, versus the automated counting where you actually put a people counter at the front door. So the setup wise with this is very expensive, depending on where you are. A security guard typically charge between $5 to $20 per hour. So that is already making it $1,400 to $5,600 per month. Whereas with the our system, it is a one-off setup cost. This is probably the price that you will charge your customer. You are getting it at a much lower cost, of course, from us at a retailer price. Sorry, a reseller price. So you can already see immediately the price difference in there. And then on the accuracy, with this, actually, we do not know, and they would not know, they would not be able to provide that accuracy. And it also requires non-stop manual counting from the first hour to the last hour of the opening time. Whereas with this one, you will configure it to this accuracy. It will be a proven accuracy, and then that accuracy will stay for many years. For the customer's perception, so you have the costs on there, you have the accuracy, and then you have from the customer, so your shopper, your visitor that come into your store. With this one, yes, they will see a man in there. It is subject to human judgment. They might want to argue with the security guard and say, look, there's not a lot of people in there. You can certainly let me in because I have queued up for an hour. And also for the staff employee inside, for like, for example, supermarket, they're having very busy at the till. They're going to say, why is the security guard letting too many people in? So it is not scientifically proven, whereas with this system, it is data driven. it is a data-driven control. If the screen tells you you have to stop, then it means you have to stop. And also for the employee inside, then they feel that their system is in place that is stopping people coming in when the capacity has reached. Verification is not verifiable. You can't say how accurate they are, whereas with us, we have an accuracy audit report. And then obviously this is short term. As soon as you take the security guard away, then you would not have that measures in place, whereas this one, it can be used time over time and also for all the other metrics as well. So I move on to, so this is one I want to show you. This is how it's actually count. So when people go in, so this is your door where you put your people counter camera at the door. Then this is where you have a signage, a display, whether or not allowing them to go in. So as you see now, I'm looping. As you see now, when people come in and start counting, now when it then reaches the maximum, it will then become red until someone goes out. So this is a live, a real time. It's updated every second on the actual occupancy that is within the store. It is above 95% accuracy because with 3D stereoscopic video technology, it is very accurate. And our average is about 98%. It also provides a wide coverage of entrance and it's a very long durability. I'll probably explain a little bit more later on our hardware. It is very easy to install. One cable, Cat5, Cat6, it is powered over Ethernet. We provide the injector for you. It is plug and play. We also provide you with installation support. Okay, so here we have a video. I will then share later with this slide, so you will have all this for you there to click on. So you can. So this is actual video. This is on our YouTube. So similarly, you will see that this is at the entrance, the in and out lines. So this is then going out that direction, and this is going in. You will see that it's then increase. You also have the live occupancy monitor there to show them it is now going up. So now stop. You need to wait for one person to go out for the other person to be able to come in. So this is the idea of it, so that you will have, it does count real-time occupancy in your building, and it's an automated display at the entrance, and you will have the live dashboard, staff alerts, and management report. So the system package, the components is that you will have a people counter that you install at the door. You will have a display. I will tell you a few options how you could display that at the on the outside of the entrance, so the shopper will be able to see whether or not they should go in or they should wait and queue. And then you have the employee-facing dashboard. So the employee can have a dashboard that looks with the graph of how many people are already in. On there, you will also have a staff alert on there. The reason with this is so that you have that one, you're relying on your visitor not coming in when it says stop. But what if someone cheat and come in anyway and ignoring the sign? Then the staff will be alerted with an alert, so that the staff can then take a timely action. They can then go to the door and say, all right, stop coming in. We are already full. And then you also have your reports. So many of you have used our system already. You will notice that we have all different kinds of reports. Likewise, with here, we are having reports. We have the branch level report for the store manager to see when they are more vulnerable, which hours they are more vulnerable, or they are more easier to reach maximum capacity, so that they can plan their resources accordingly, and also management level as a company level, so that they can see the whole league table, and they see all their branches, and they will then be able to see which one will need a little bit more support. And we have more, so we're going to go through that. So the system package, so it is an all-in-one package with the hardware. So we will be selling you at your reseller price. This is an end-user pricing. We feel that the market is now paying, that they find it reasonable, and that's what they're prepared to pay per unit. So as many of you know, we provide lifetime license to our software. to the Android tablet app like this, and also the live occupancy dashboard. Again, it's quick installation. We do have a short delivery lead time. We know a lot of partners have already ordered. Many are already deploying for their customers. We know it is a very short notice from your customers. So we are trying to obviously work with you together on the delivery. So we do have a lead time like this. Now with our courier company, we use TNT, UPS, DHL, FedEx, so mainly DPD in Europe. So mainly their lead time are quite good. In Europe, it can be 1 to 2 days. Some Europe country could be 3 days, but other parts of the world it will probably be 3-4 days. The longest one is still about 4 to 5 days. So I would say quite safely within a week you'll be able to receive your device. Now the key features with that, it probably be maybe like a punchline for your customers. There are a few things that are quite important for them. One is real time. Very clearly they needed a real-time system, a real-time occupancy, and it's accurate. So again, I will tell you about how the accuracy audit works. It is very efficient. So so you would not need a security guard, or you wouldn't need a staff that is permanently at the door. Your staff will be alerted with a staff alert. Then they will only need to go there when it's needed. So it's very efficient. It's very simple. We provide all this URL and all those app. Is very simple to use. It is timely. So all the notification is provided in a very timely method. It's scalable. So whether or not your customers only have one store, one big store, or 100 small stores, is very scalable. We have done retail chains that have over 1,000 stores, 2,000 stores for them. It is privacy friendly. You would like to know we have privacy document statements. We are fully exempt from GDPR. So you can then pass this on to your customers so that they know that they do not have to worry about this system, because all the data that we collected are anonymized. And it's a proven system. So we didn't just put together this occupancy just for COVID-19. We have already been doing people counting and occupancy tracking prior to COVID-19, and we have done it many years. So I move on to key functions. So the key functions is you will have an occupancy control traffic lights at the entrance. So it can be on a tablet, an Android tablet, or any digital screen that the stores already have. So a screen that can go onto the internet, then they will be able to get their real-time data to their screen. So in there, it will be displaying a green when it's within the threshold. Obviously, this threshold, it will be you need to set it up for your customers, and it will be different for different site, and it's probably going to be the new maximum. So originally, sometimes some stores or some offices, they may originally be able to have a maximum capacity of 500. The new capacity now to comply with the social distancing rule will probably be 100 or 200. So you will adjust that. Then later on, when that is lifted a bit more, then they can then go back to their original maximum. This can be changed at any time. You can also display an audio warning if you need to. So as long as the display is able to play an audio. And then you will be able to alert the staff. So you have a live occupancy monitor. So this is a monitor to give a complete overview of the occupancy level now, where it is and how it was this morning, throughout the day for that, so that, a store manager will be able to reallocate staff. So it's very easy then to be able to act on it. Then you also have instant staff notification when the occupancy limit is breached. Again, as we say, if the shoppers are ignoring the signage outside, then a staff will be alerted so that they can take the timely action. It is, after all, to protect the health and safety of the customers and employees. Occupancy report. So this is then a report. This is probably at the end of the day, the store will get a store report so that they can make sure they can look at when is their most vulnerable time. For example, this is by the hour, this is by the different days. Then they can see which hour they are really busy. They are seeing, you know, all the different, you know, average occupancy and all that. And also for the management, that they're going to look across all their chains, all the different sites. They will be able to have an overview of that. Now, there is also extra. This is a widget to go on their website. This is a live occupancy tracker for to put on your customer's website. So a lot of stores, for example, supermarkets, and those that are providing, like banks, that have come to us, and also immigration department, they have told us, so that because, you know, people are coming, then when there is at a peak time, people have to queue outside. So although they are managing the occupancy inside the store, now the outside of their store become risky, because you will have so many people queuing outside. Some is saying that it's queuing up to the main road, which is into an area which is not their property. But then they feel it, because those are their customers, those are their visitors going to come into their buildings. They feel responsible that they have got to ensure they are queuing within with the social distancing of 2 meters or whatever the regulation is. So they feel very pressured to have to do that. And what they're really wanting to do is hopefully the customers spread out their time of visit and come at a quieter time. But it's difficult to tell your customer if you do not have a widget to tell them when is a quieter time. So this is a widget that they can use and provide and put it on their website. Of course, we do not charge for the widget. So this is something that if they use our system, they will have that. They can then just get their web designer, just put it on. As is a widget, it is very easy to set up. So for example, if I'm a customer, I'm at home now, I'm wanting to visit your store, then I'm going to check. So I'm checking now, and it's telling me the occupancy at the store now is quite high. So if I go down, I'm expecting to queue. So I'm looking at future. So if future is predicted in an hour's time is going to be much quieter, then I should probably plan to come a bit later. So this is then again also it helps the customer to pre-plan the journey. It also is showing the community that the stores is taking a proactive approach to stagger their customers' visiting time, is providing the tools for the customers to choose a quieter time to come. And for businesses, they really want to welcome that, because they really, to them, if customers is queuing outside the store, it's not going to bring them any more business. At that point of time, it's just giving them more pressure having to monitor or control that queue outside their stores. So they really would prefer customers to come at a much quieter time. So this allows them to do that without any more extra effort. Now our system, we do integration with many your end users, corporate company, businesses, and also with our partners, because some of our partners, they already have their own system. They are a system integrator, or they're a value-added reseller where they want to integrate our data into their system. So treating our device as an IoT, Internet of Things. So we provide one part of the data. Then when you combine it together, you're providing a much more powerful data to you, a solution to your customer. So we already have the API, which I can share later. So we have it here. It looks like this. So it has all the script ready for you to do your integration. So you'll be able to integrate direct with the device at the counter level to get absolute raw data, or you'll be able to integrate with our server to get aggregated data. And also because on our server, we have more error handling on there rather than the absolute raw data. There are different methods of integration. There is also, we have GPIO PIN. We have already many partners and customers requesting so that when the capacity is full, that the camera is actually sending a command to close the door, electric door, so that apart from the sign telling you a stop, a red stop, the door will actually not open. So integrating with electric door, electric gate, vehicle barrier, so those you can integrate it. It's a very simple relay integration, which is to a cable. We will provide all those wiring diagram on there. Now, obviously, businesses would like to invest in a system that they can use it for long term. Although they are buying now for specifically for COVID-19, it will be good for them to know, and it's also a competitive advantage for you against your other competitors, is that, you know, the additional matrices that we are already measuring. So we are already measuring the visitor count, outside traffic, turn-in rate, visit duration, returning customer, sales conversion. We have been measuring this for years. So these are the things that, because they're installing the cameras at the entrance, so we are measuring this anyway. And a lot of businesses are using that. For example, retailers, they're using that as a sales conversion rate. So this is a very important KPI for them to monitor their different stores' performance. So apart from the COVID-19 occupancy, they will always be using that. Many retailers have already installed. Those that have not installed, we just give them an extra push that they would need this kind of a system. Supermarkets, after the COVID-19, apart from the footfall counting at the entrance, they can also repurpose it for queue counting, heat map, zone tracking, and also prediction of the queue. For example, the store manager might see that I have 50 more people coming in now. So based on the average shopping time in their store, which we measured with the visit duration. So if some supermarket, they will have the average visiting time usually between 30 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour. So then the store manager will be able to predict in 45 minutes later, these 50 people are going to go to my till. So I would need to open up more tills. So in a way that it gives them time to pre-plan to open more tills. So this is something that a lot of supermarkets are looking into. Hospitals, office buildings, so provide data for smart building control and also facility utilization analysis. We have already been doing all this pre-COVID. So the requirements are there. And also, many of you probably have already worked with us for a lot of things. So we are, what we are doing is we have one device. So the same device, if you install it at different places, then it will be, you can utilize different functions that are there. So people counting at the door, PA system integration. When you put it in the inside near the till, it will be queue counting, heat map inside the store, ESL, product level sales conversion on the SKU. So many of the other functions as well. So your customers would like to know that is actually future-proof. So now the product variants, we just now was saying about the display screen, because we sell you the camera, but the display screen you will have to provide to your customer. So there are a few options there. The one options would be to use a tablet. So your Android tablet, because Android tablet will probably be the most cost efficient. So under $200, you'll be able to provide a decent tablet for your store. Or many of the stores already have some sort of tablet for their own staff training or any other usage which they can repurpose. You may find that a lot of stores that already say, okay, I have a tablet that I could use. So then they probably might need to get a stand so they can use a Wi-Fi connect to our people counter. So we are providing you with the camera, the midspan, and obviously the server software. So they just use a Wi-Fi connection to the people counter. Now, if you're providing the tablet, the Wi-Fi will only need to connect to our people counter. It doesn't need to utilize the store Wi-Fi. So you don't have to worry about having to set it up with the store Wi-Fi. Okay. The other way is, what if your customer have a screen, a TV screen or any display monitor, but it doesn't have a computer? So what we need to do is, with the tablet, you need to be able to go on a browser. So with the TV screen, you will need a computer to go on a browser. If your customer already have a PC that is they can repurpose, they can use, they can plug the PC in, but many probably do not like to have a desktop sitting at their front door. Then we can provide with a mini computer. It is the size of your palm. It can sit on your palm. So then you can just Visa mount. So we have a Visa mounting kit behind the TV screen, but because it is so lightweight, you can probably Velcro it at the back as well. So it does need a power to power on, and it comes with a HDMI cable. So you need a HDMI port on your TV monitor. So in that way, then you can connect via router to the server to display the real-time data. Because for FootfallCam, we do have another product called Magic Mirror. It is an interactive digital signage. This is our own product. If some customers would say, I do not want to buy a tablet because I will have no use after this, a digital signage is more expensive. We're talking about $1,500 here. It is more expensive, but they might find that they have more usage after that. So any stores now, they probably need a digital signage. Hotel, offices, venues, they all need some sort of digital signage. So they might find that they may actually want to invest in the digital signage, and we can provide that, because our digital signage comes with a computer built in. Of course, if your customers already have a digital signage that has a computer built in that can go online, they can utilize that as well. So these are the different options where they can use for the display. We have already implemented in 32 government departments in 8 different countries, and 120 more. This is actually more now as we speak. One of the example in here, government facilities, one of the example is Hong Kong. Hong Kong government, they have 11 immigration towers and 21 smart identity card replacement center. With the immigration tower is huge. They will have multiple entrances to multiple different waiting rooms on the different floors. For them, because they still need to provide a passport service, visa extension for the foreigners, things like this. So they are having to provide public services to continue to provide that. So one thing we want to highlight here is the multi-language that we can provide. We do rely on customer or yourself or our partners to provide us with the translation, but then we can then customize it for you. So apart from government, businesses, initially it was all supermarkets, grocery stores, DIY stores, all those essential services like banks that are needing to be opened because they're providing essential services. But now we have more and more retailers that are planning to reopen, that they are really struggling to find ways to make sure that they are compliant by the time they open. They are waiting to open already, so they do not want to waste any more time, to delay their opening. So they're really into getting this system. So we're going to talk about the sales and marketing support that we will provide to you. To share with you, the key market segments is slightly different. Initially, it was really different from what you would normally sell. You may already have your own customer base. Many are selling to retailers, some are to public sector, some are to offices, but you may find that it is a bit slight change in your requirement that comes from supermarkets, because supermarkets, grocery stores, all this fast food chain, traditionally they do not need a people counting system, because anyone who goes into their stores, they naturally buy, so they do not really need to know about sales conversion. But now they are almost the first one that they that need it. So many of our partners have found that they now have widen up their target industry, is giving them a footing, a step into this different industry. Naturally, retail stores. Now, fast food chains, I want to explain a little why fast food chains. Fast food chains now are only, most of them, they are allowed to open, but for takeaway only, and no probably drive-through or online order where to do a delivery. So they're not allowing anyone going into their stores. And the stores is naturally usually quite small because and then they have high traffic. So unlike a restaurant where it's easier to control the number of people there just by controlling how many tables you have, fast food chains, they usually have far more visitor than what the number of seats they have in there. So this is somewhere where they are very eager to reopen, but then they're probably also one of the ones that really need to have measures in place to control their visitor. Retail stores, again, as we mentioned, they are really eager to open, so they're needing to be seen at putting measures in place. Public venues, like where they provide public services like banks, shopping malls, exhibition hall, those areas where they need to provide, they need to allow people coming into and to a space. Government facilities, like we mentioned, the immigration center, hospital, office buildings, libraries are needing to reopen. Museums, likewise, they really need to control their visitor. Now, the buying cycle is also quite unique from our usual people counting. The key market segment have immediate high demand. This is quite key and very unique, the immediate high demand, because usually when you have a high demand, it's already a commodity. So you will sell it like a commodity. But now, because the demand is so immediate, we literally have, we're talking about weeks, only just a few weeks since the demand was high. So this is, you are actually selling a non-commodity to a very, very high demand. So usually when a non-commodity is niche, so the demand is usually low, but now it is a very unique situation when the need is immediate and it's really in very high demand. And the good thing about that, I wouldn't say good because of the COVID, but the demand will actually be there for at least a year. So your customer would not tell you and say, okay, I'm just going to wait for this 2 months to go by. They really need that to run the business for the year to come. The buying cycle, the key decision makers is actually the top level, CEO and directors. Many times it will be usually for buying things, it will be the procurement team, or it could be being assigned to an IT team because of the nature of these technology is usually taken care of by the IT, or it could be the operating team that requiring. But this time, because of the immediate nature of it, and it's also almost it's the top management having to find something strategic. It's a strategic decision that they have to make sure that they are compliant with the social distancing regulation when they reopen. So the key decision maker is actually the CEO and directors. So the way of selling them, obviously you're an expert in selling, but we are going to share later of the specific way of targeting them for this unique situation. You will also find the sales cycle is extremely short, so you need to be prepared on that. So usually from first inquiry to giving you the whole deployment nationwide, it will probably be 3 weeks. So you may need to prepare yourself that you'll be able to do the installation or provide that service in a very short time frame. Traditionally, with our people counting, the sales cycle can be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. Some of our partners is telling us their customers coming back to them after a year and a half before deciding that they want to deploy. So traditionally the sales cycle with people counting is very, very slow, but now it is very quick. So again, the emphasis for them, so your winning speech, your sales pitch would be quite different. You probably want to emphasize on the speed of delivery. And we do see a very high conversion rate from cold calls, cold emails to them. So we find that the marketing methods for this product is very special, is unique, is just for this situation. And we find that the cold email, we call it cold email as in you just email them like a cold call by finding out who they are, who are the CEOs for a certain supermarkets, and you kind of like find the pattern of the email. We find this really works because this is a very unique demand, and it has a proven success rate. Our partners, actually, ourselves as well as our partners, have been coming back to us and say, since they put on their website and also like send out a few email, the response is exceptional, is actually really enormous, and keep them very busy. So because this is very special, because usually when you cold call and you send an email out of the blue, people don't respond to you and it goes to a spam. But with this one, is because it's actually the CEO and the director, it is a hot topic for them now. It is something that they're making a strategic decision on. So your email will actually they will actually find it quite timely. And how we could probably share, you probably already know how to do that, but we can probably share the way of doing that is simply going to Google, search a list of, for example, if you want to target supermarkets, you can find a whole list of supermarkets in your country or any offices, big offices that you want to target, things like this. And then you kind of like go into LinkedIn, Google, and find who is the CEO, IT director, because this, the top management, the list is quite public. And then you can probably find a specific method of the email, because some of the, you might Google, an email for a certain supermarket. You probably find that is usually first name dot last name at supermarket.com. So something like this, and then you'll be able to send that out. So we literally, a lot of our partners are doing that. They spend some time compiling that list, we find that they have come back to us to tell us it really works. So this might be something, is just to share with you that it might help you with that in your country. Naturally, you will conduct meetings. We will share the PowerPoint template with you so that you can adapt it to your needs. You may want to emphasize the speed and ease in deploying, because you might show them, the best system in the world. If you can't install it, say next week, then you might lose the deal. The third thing is, of course, web page, because this is not something that is common, is not something they have required before. They do not already have a preferred supplier. Because if you're talking about all the other equipment, they may already have a supplier that they normally go to. But because this is so new, they will literally need to search it on Google. And so finding a web page, putting it in your local language will really then be targeting all those inquiry traffic to you. Now, we do have a reseller media pack, which you can have, and it looks something like this. So we will share that with you with the link. So it will have all the SEO keywords that we think it will really work, and it's proven to work. Obviously, you can have all your other keywords yourself, but all the contents on the website, we will provide you with those contents, all the different pages, and you could then, and then this is a cold email template that we kind of like find that it works. You obviously adapt that, which you can then obviously translate it to your own language. The sales technique, again, is almost, because we have a lot of partners coming to us and say, what is the winning script? What are the things that the customers are really looking at this point? We obviously are not trying to teach you how to sell. You're the expert, but we're only just trying to share specifically for this COVID-19 occupancy system, is that the the client, your customers want to be seen. They want to be seen as using a high-tech, scientifically driven method. So with a screen at the door, they are showing the world that they are doing that, because with a manual counting is inaccurate, and shoppers and staff can just get into argument with that and say, why aren't you letting me in, or you are letting too many people in. So a display screen there is transparent and is very cost effective. To comply with the government safety regulation, obviously peace of mind in doing the business in this time. It is also to try to avoid litigation. Because if they haven't put measures in place, they are always going to be questioned. Why haven't you put in place? And this is just for them to be able to continue doing the business with a peace of mind. The widget, it is something that, of course, your competitors is not going to have. It is also something that they would be looking at, because they would like to put it on their website to influence their customer before they make the journey down. You want to emphasize off-the-shelf product, because as we mentioned, the speed is everything. So even if someone is having to, a lot of times they will just come to you because they might say, okay, my IT team can put something together, but how long is your IT team going to take to develop that? A month or 2 months, that is not fast enough. So they want something ready to use, which we already, it is a proven, the good thing about that is FootfallCam is already proven for many years to do people counting and occupancy. It is high accuracy, it is verified with video proof. There is also a long-term usage for that. And the total project cost is really low to the client, especially compared to the urgency and seriousness of the current situation. I'm going to show you the enterprise class software. Very quickly, I know, I think we have quite a few questions there that I would like to go in. I will answer all those questions during our Q&A session. So I want to quickly go into this. I want to show you the enterprise class software. So you will have the display as we shown just now, the green and red at the door. And then for the management, for your staff, then you will have this whole suite of reportings and the software. So you will have an analytics center. They can then go and compare their different sites and all that, doing all that to look at whichever store. So this is usually for regional manager when they're trying to find out something ad hoc to do. And then they will have their live occupancy dashboard. So this is something maybe they will show within their store for the store manager. So it will be combining different entrances. So for example, this particular store, they have 3 entrances. So these 3 entrances will give you the visitor in and visitor going out. So the combined total in minus the out will then give you the occupancy currently. So this is being updated every second as you see. So when someone has gone out, the occupancy drop down. So you have a live occupancy to show, and then you will have all these different company reports. So this is in a different language, just to showcase that this is in Dutch. So you have all the different company report. I will show you there. So this is also again a live occupancy. So that one was a dashboard, a live line chart. This is one that, for example, for offices or for departmental stores where they have different areas. So putting 1 or 2 camera at the ground floor entrance would then give them the total occupancy of their whole building. So they will have this. They will set a maximum capacity. This will then give them what is the current live occupancy in the whole of the building and what is the utilization rate. And then if they then put cameras at the lift, like lift and staircase and escalator, they will be able to then have floor occupancy. So ground floor, how many people have gone into ground floor, how many have gone into second floor and third floor. So then they will know the 270 people, where are they now? And then this one obviously is reaching capacity. So maybe first floor people shouldn't be walking into first floor, things like this. And you can also have inside on the ground floor specific rooms. So they're putting a camera in each of the meeting rooms or the bigger hot desk area. So they would be able to see, okay, this one is full. so you can't go in, but this is empty. So usually they will have a dashboard like this. So they will have a screen showing that in the common area. So the employee, staff member will be able to know, okay, which room I can go and use now to do my work. So things like this. So even with first floor, this is the lecture hall. Now, this is something we do pre-COVID, actually. This is for occupancy, is for offices, for smart building, energy consumption control, for facility utilization. So they're basically looking at this. If they find that their lecture hall is always underutilized, then maybe they will split the lecture hall into two smaller ones, for example. And also like things here where they have a cafeteria. So we do a queue counting at the buffet. And then we also do an area counting here. So, so for example, the widget that we say that is going to go on the retailer's website, we have already done this for offices and campuses. So a lot of offices, those bigger one, some are even in a campus like factory, where they provide a catering facility within for their own employee. So they want the employee to stagger the lunchtime, because they don't want everyone to go down in that hour and you know, having a massive queue and people weren't able to find a seat to sit down to eat. So they want the employee to stagger their lunchtime. So the widget is something where putting on their intranet, the employee will be able to see, okay, it's now nearly full, so maybe I'll go half an hour later. Or I'm seeing that is always full at this time, I should go a bit earlier. So that widget is already something that we have used. Hence, we were able to do it very quickly for the retailers. So this is one of the live occupancy. You also have company level. So company level is more like, so across the estate, the total visitor last week is how many, how long they stay in your store, how many are returning customer, you know, highest, best store, worst store, across, you know, on the map just now, visitor count by month, by week, by day, last 7 days compared to last year, outside traffic, you know, which is the line chart. So then they see that, oh, actually, I still have a lot of outside traffic there. Why are people not coming in? This is an opportunity for my store manager to do something outside, hand out a sample or something, a leaflet. Visit duration, how long on average my customers are staying? Have I improved that? What is the distribution? So these are really short, less than 15 minutes. This is 15 to 30 minutes. This is more than 30 minutes. So they can interpret their data that way. Again, returning customer. So 17% of my customers are returning customers. So you can improve your loyalty. And also like offices where they run on membership, they want to see how many are member against non-member. Non-member means visitor. Those visitors to their members to come in for a meeting, things like this. So this is something they can see. Sales conversion, which is for retailers, and a league table. So this is where they can see all the branches, and then they can see which one is, for example, for the occupancy, they can see which one is more vulnerable or which one is really continuously breaching the capacity, so what they can do about it. For retailers, ongoing is which one is doing better sales than the other, sales conversion rate on the league table. Marketing effectiveness is something like, so they have a campaign, a start and end date. So they want to see what is the effect of the campaign before, during, and after on their visitor count, turn-in rate, again, different metrics, returning customer, sales conversion. They also do it for staff planning. So these are all the reports that we have. So footfall to staff ratio, they can then see when are the time that they're understaffed, when are they overstaffed, and what is that on costs, on their costs. So when you're overstaffed, obviously you're spending too much wages. When you are understaffed, then you're missing some sales opportunity. So on there, we also have a prediction. So a prediction is a predictive engine. We already have it for years, so that they can predict the next few weeks how they should have the staff rota plan. We also have zone analytics for shopping malls, for departmental store, for university campuses. So they want to know people come in, then where do they go? Which zone is more popular or more crowded than the others? And also, where do they go? So they come in from the main entrance, So they come in from the main entrance, and then which side do they go? So this could be within the building. So they come in main entrance and then they go to this boots corridor, or do they go to the food court, or do they go to the cinema? And after that, where do they move on? Now, the new trend is for university campuses. So they want to know people where the students are, where are all those, you know, when they are going to lecture hall, do they then go to what kind of facility, their sports facility, their drama hall, their food restaurants area. So things like this, people are wanting to know, you know, the flow, because with that, then they will be able to replan or relay out their facility, the facility offering. Now I want to mention about a verification. So we mentioned about that we have a proof for our accuracy. Many of you have already been using our system. You know that we do this for every single camera that you install. So when you have installed your camera, we connect in to do the, to draw the configuration, the counting line, and then we record a video. And then we have a team to actually sit down there and watch the video. So the video looks something like here. So this is how the camera angle is. So we're putting on the ceiling, we're looking down onto, I'm going to speed that up so that we have some activity there. So we are looking down onto the floor. This is a departmental store, so it is a very wide entrance. We're needing a few more cameras to do that. So you can see that you have a numbers on top of the person's head. That is their height. So we know the height of a person, and we can discount children. So any children shorter than 1.3, we can choose not to count them. So you just saw a child went in and is not counted. So with this, we actually have a verification team who sit down there, watch that video, and do a manual counting. So once you have done the manual counting, then you provide you with a verification report. This is where it is. So we say we manually counted 45. The system at that time counted 45, and what is the discrepancy? Now you combine a few video, you get a, so we counted 119, the system only counted 116. So there is a discrepancy of 3. So the accuracy is 97%. So with this, you are providing to your client to say that this camera that is installed is now 97%. So, and they can go and watch that video themselves, do the counting themselves to verify the accuracy. I want to show you here on, I think it's here. So on here, you will have an issue tracker, because this is enterprise level software. Under maintenance, you will have an issue tracker. It will have all your cameras that you have installed there. Each one of them, you can go on to view the report. You can also go and schedule any more video. So for example, if anyone is questioning on the accuracy, they can always go and schedule a video. Now, you might find that this is just it's almost a must have. It's not a good to have. So it is good to obviously show the accuracy, but it is a must have to show them, because we have now replaced many different brands, even the big brands like Brickstream, ShopperTrack from America, Irisys, obviously, all those big brands, we have replaced them. The reason is because many people say is not accurate. Then what does the top management do? The only thing they can do is change brand. And hope for the best. So with this one, you'll be able to, because time to time, people are going to question the accuracy. If the top management question a certain store on their store performance because they're not selling as much as they should be, they're going to say the system is not accurate. Everyone is going to blame on the device and trying to say that it's not accurate because the device can't speak for itself, but our system can. So they can always just come and schedule a video, and then they can watch it, and then because this is then providing you with a peace of mind that your system, you can vouch for your accuracy, and it's also for the top management of your client that they can then go back to and tell their employee and say, look, the accuracy is good enough, you just need to do your work better. So this is a very important part, is a very important feature when you're wanting to sell a people counting system. But I'm showing you here with the issue tracker is that if there's any system error, it will show up here. If the customers want to raise the support ticket, they can raise it here and we will respond from here. So this is all their counters on there. It will tell you an indicator light. Blue means everything is working. You have green light showing different things, green, yellow, white, red light. So they are all an indicator light to tell you what the problem is. You also have data integrity. So in here, you will have, you will be able to see, because this is a health check. So we check that your camera is online, whether or not it is counting, and whether or not those count data arrives at the server onto the database. So this is then where we check whether or not you have aggregated data. So for example, this one has 129 sites, a total of 137 cameras, counters. So it says 122 sites are okay, 6 are offline. So we will then tell you, if you could mute your mic, please. Yeah, thank you. So it will then tell you what is the reason that is offline and which one are offline. So if it is other reason, it will tell you what the other reason is. Pending customer feedback is usually, it could be like they're going under refurbishment, so they're renovating, so the cameras is taken down, so they're offline, and then when they finish, they will then reconnect. So the on there, any accuracy issue will be there. Now, anything that is raised up on here, an email alert will be sent so that you will be able to, again, being alerted in a timely manner. So now this is a health check that to show that the camera is all connected. Now, what if you have data and can you trust that data? So this is data integrity. So because how many people go into your store, they should come out at the end of the day. So really that should be the same numbers. So, but because the camera is not 100% accurate, so there will always be a discrepancy. But as our system should be more than 95% accurate, we are looking for a discrepancy that is less than 5%. So anytime when the discrepancy is higher than that, an alert again will be sent. We also have different measures in place to come and to alert you if your data has become abnormal. For example, if your data today is abnormally high, you have a spike at a certain hour, or is abnormally low, again, this will send an alert to you. You'll also be able to see, we also take a snapshot of previous, every month we take a snapshot of the camera, left lens, right lens, and the configuration. So this is just to make sure that the camera angle is still at where it should be. If it's knocked out of place, then we will know, we'll be able to restore it. Or things like you have some dangling things from the ceiling, like a sales banner dangling from the ceiling that is blocking the view, so we are able to then see it. So we have all these measures in place, so for hassle-free maintenance. So you would like to know that all these tools are there for you to be able to maintain your customer system for you. Obviously, there are also all the settings of setting up the users, different users, email scheduler, notification alert, different sites, import, export of all the data, uploading a floor plan, and doing that. I also have all the other reports, just quickly go through that. So for example, this is a different kind of a dashboard that they're showing even dustbins, whether or not the bins has been cleaned, which table is occupied. This is for restaurants, for fast food. This is for something like for product level sales report that we can do. When they put the camera inside the store, we can tell them the passerby and an engaged visitor for each and different product, so they get a product level sales conversion. Some of the case studies, some of the places that we have installed for libraries, many libraries. This particular one is in the USA, but we have done many libraries for many local councils, local government, retailers, global chain retailers, many of them, big crowd place, crowded area, fast food chains, we're doing KFC for the global market, office building, facility utilization, energy consumption. So smart office. Again, a global retail chains that have 15,000 stores worldwide. Similar, another retail chain on there. Car showroom, telecom company that we have also been doing for them. Something I want to share, I mentioned about we are GDPR exempt. So, you know, if your customers needing any information on that, we have documents available. So so that is, I just quickly go through on our hardware, because I think many of our partners are already aware of our hardware, but for any one of you who are new, the special design that we have on our hardware, apart from the 3D, which give you real-time occupancy counting and a very highly accurate bi-directional counting, and with all the staff exclusion and all the different counting there, I want to draw your attention that our camera is a metal alloy casing. So this is very unique. You probably just find us in the world that is doing that. All the other cameras are usually with a plastic casing. It is more cost effective with the plastic casing, but with the metal alloy, one thing you will notice is obviously it looks better, it looks more quality, but the main purpose of it is heat dissipation. Because in our camera, we have put in an actual computer on there. A lot of camera, they only put a camera chipset, a more toned down CPU processing chipset, because the camera is only just doing what it sees and some image processing. But we actually put on a full-on computer there. There are a few reasons why we put on a full-on computer. One is because so that we can run multiple image processing algorithms concurrently, because there are many image processing algorithms out there, but they are each how should I say, they are each specific for specific situation, environment, different lighting condition, and all that. You know, you can be low traffic, high traffic, all those. So with a powerful computer, that's where you can run different things concurrently. And we also run multi-functions concurrently. So you can have a people counting at your entrance, and then you can also have your occupancy both running concurrently, where we measure all those different metrics, your occupancy as well as your outside traffic, visitor count, dwell time, duration, returning customers. They're all running in real time. And also you can run queue counting, zone counting, heat map, all those things. So you really need a powerful computer in order to run those different functions. And because of that, and we are also running a multiple program all together, as like a computer, like your laptop, they heat up. So you need to keep the CPU at an optimal operating temperature. So you need to really keep your CPU cool. The only way you can keep it is so that it can dissipate the heat out to the environment, and a metal casing is crucial there. That's why your laptop is a metal case. Your laptop will be a metal casing, and when you touch your laptop, it's actually warm. That's because it's dissipating heat. The other design, I promise this is the last I will talk about, and we'll go into Q&A session, is a triple redundancy. With this, we reference the aircraft. So you will find that you touch wood, but you would not like to know that your aircraft, they have two engines, one on each side of the wing. Should one of the engine fail, the remaining one will be able to land you safely. So that is the double redundancy of the aircraft. We're doing this with the OS, operating system. So like your laptop, your iPad, your tablet, or any of your device, you only have one operating system, be it Windows or Linux or iOS. Then it hangs. Your computer can hang, your router can hang. When it hangs, what you need to do is to reboot it. But then when you're installing this on the ceiling at your customer site, you don't want to go and reboot it. And you literally will be installing thousands there. So you don't want to do that. What we have then is we put in three OS, three operating system. So when this hangs, you will have the second one continuing doing the counting. and it then sends a command to the first one to reboot it, and you still have the third one as a backup. So this is a triple redundancy things we put in. With these two alone, you will minimize your maintenance to very, very low. And the mean time to failure, because it keeps our CPU running at the optimal temperature, our mean time to failure is actually 25 years. So you will literally need to replace the device because you wanted an upgraded functions, than it going faulty. So this is the end of my presentation. We will now go into Q&A session. What I'll do is I will stop my sharing and I will stop the recording.